Hey everyone, in today's video, we're going to be talking about equity indices, natural gas, New Zealand, Swiss franc, corn, and that's pretty much it, I think. Okay, so let's start with Swiss franc. Swiss franc, we are on a weekly demand, rally-based rally. Price got into that zone. We also have a daily demand zone right here. All this is demand zone. It touched, it reacted. Now I'm just waiting for price to. It created also a drop-based rally, okay, and it's currently in that demand. The only thing I don't like about this is that we have a huge gap down here. Not a huge, it's we have a decent gap over here that hasn't been filled yet. Now, so let's continue with the analysis. So you guys can see and take your own decisions. Now, uh, we can see traders are extremely bearish, so that's a beautiful sign that price should continue to go down. Now, seasonality is telling us that price should continue to go up. Um, we still have room to go up. All right. So here's seasonality. As you guys can see, there's there's still room to go up. Now we have this drop, this mini drop, and then we have an explosive move to the upside. That's probably says it's on the 8th, around the 8th um of January. So so yeah, have to see what but yeah, overall seasonality is pretty much bullish. Now we can see also that we are undervalued against the dollar, right? And then if we see the what the COT index is doing, we see that retailers are extremely bearish and commercials are bullish, right? They're above this green line. Okay, the only thing that's affecting this trade is this gap that we have to fill. All right. I am more than happy to take this trade because all fundamental aspects are aligned with the technicals. Now, if price stops me out and fills this wick, this gap, then I'm completely fine with that by that because that's the risk I am willing to take. Um, but if we see the USD CHF, we had a good gap over here. We're on the daily chart on USD CHF. We had this gap over here. Price closed here and then it opened down here. And last week we filled that gap. Okay, so on the USD CHF, we don't have any gaps left to fill. Okay, now all I'm waiting is for price. We're inside on the weekly. We can see we're inside um this drop base. All of this will be the base, and then we have a drop. Okay, have this drop, base, drop, and here we have this rally, base, drop. Price is inside these two supply zones. Over here, also, quick note, we have a monthly supply zone. So if price pushes all the way over here, even better. It would be a great trade to take. Okay, it would be a massive trade. Now, so I'm just waiting for price to or give us a break of structure in the lower time frames, just like this, or simply break out of this demand zone and continue to go up and touch our monthly and daily supply zone. Okay, now let's talk about New Zealand. New Zealand. So New Zealand, we're still on the this drop-based rally. We already actually broke the demand zone, but it wasn't a decisive break of the zone. It was kind of just little break, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But fundamentals are still very much bullish. Look at this. Retailers are extremely bearish. And we have users and producers extremely bullish also, and among other things. Now, I have a trade on NCDJPY. And actually, look at this. We opened with a gap. So this price is destined to continue to go down to fill at least this gap. So I think I'm closing that NCJPY trade. So yeah, I'm gonna be monitoring NCD, but I don't think it's gonna be ready for this week. Now let's keep talking. Let's talk about corn. Corn, this is gonna be super quick. So on corn, we have this monthly, uh, this drop base rally drop. So we could have drawn the supply from here, but really this one looks much better. All right. So prices inside that monthly supply. We have this drop base drop on the weekly, and then on the daily, we also have this drop base drop. So price came into that zone. Also inside that zone, there's a psychological number 450. Price came into that zone, touched the psychological number and the zone and reacted. Now it printed another supply zone right here, this rally base drop. So I'm expecting price to come back into that zone and continue to the downside to uh fill this gap right here. Well, I didn't show you guys the fundamentals, most important thing. So we are going to users and producers, extremely bearish. They're they're basically distributing during the distribution phase. Let's put it that way. And then we also have the dollar overvalued against corn, which is another key factor. Okay, so I'm just waiting for that to happen. Um, let's see. And now let's talk about equity indices. We have the Russell. The Russell, I'm just waiting for price. Okay, so I'm looking for buys on the Russell and the Dow Jones because of the Santa Claus rally. All right, it's a rally that takes place during the last days of December, hence the Santa Claus rally. So here, uh, Santa Claus rally is a sustained increase in the stock market that occurs around the Christmas holiday on December 25th. Most estimate these rallies happen in the week leading up to the Christmas holiday, while others see trends that begin Christmas Day through 2nd of January. Okay, that's pretty much the Christmas rally. It affects the stock market and gold, and since it affects gold, then silver also, maybe some other metals too, get affected by this Santa Claus rally. Okay, so with that said, we are waiting for price to come back into this demand zone. Okay, once it comes into this demand zone, we're expecting uh, this to be undervalued. All right. Once it's undervalued, I will be probably taking the trade. If we are not undervalued and we're in the zone, I'm not taking the trade. Okay. And it might break and then come into this demand zone over here. So the same thing goes with the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones, same thing. We are waiting for price to come into the zone. If it's undervalued against interest rates, I will be buying. If we are not undervalued, then I'll be waiting for price to come over here and expect this to be undervalued in order to look for longs. All right. And last but not least, natural gas. So natural gas, we talked about this some like 2 weeks ago, I think. We have this rally-based drop. We have on the daily, you have this rally here with this candle base, and then we have the drop. So price came into that zone, it touched, and we were gonna short it. I actually entered a short like over here, I think, or over here, not sure. But I closed because I thought it was gonna break my structure and touch my stop loss, so I ended up missing this move. But price came back into that zone, okay? And then, well, it came back into that daily and weekly zone that I just mentioned, and then it created also with this move down a supply zone, this drop base, this drop. So we have this huge candle, these indecisive candles, and we have this drop. And price came in back into that daily, the both dailies, the one over here and the one it printed when it created this move, and then the weekly demand zone, which is all of this. Okay, so and then now we have this this beautiful higher high, higher low, higher high. It broke previous structure. Now I'm expecting price to give us a pullback, a nice pullback to continue to the downside. All right. So why am I looking for shorts? Simply because of seasonality. Natural gas is affected heavily by seasonality. Let me look for daily. So here we can see that the top was going to be around the 27th, which that's that was the time around where I entered the trade. And we can see that after that, we see a bearish move, bearish move. Look at that. We're still, it's from here, from the 27th, all the way to around February. Okay, so we can hold this position. We can hold this position. Not sure if I'm gonna hold it till February, but it might be a possibility. Okay, so that's pretty much it, you guys. If you guys have any questions, any doubts, just leave it in the comments. Peace, guys.